Hello and welcome to Conversations here on NTA Network. My name is Nika, and as you know, Conversations is a place where we talk about everything under the sun. We'll have our guests in the house introduce themselves.
Yeah, Nika, it's nice to see you again. You were not with us last week. This is Devan, and it's great to be here. Mr. Fineface, Alpha.
Well, I'm fine. It's good to be here again to meet with the ladies. Kevin Fineface, a security and energy consultant, public good advocate.
So today on Conversations, we're going to be talking about customer service delivery, the quality of customer service that we get here in Nigeria. We have a short playlist that we'll be watching, and then we'll be right back after this.
Purchase your tracks today. Purchase your tracks today.
Hello, how much is this?
Yes, also.
Excuse me, please. How much is this?
Oh, God, can't you see I'm on a call? Hold on now. I'll get back to you. Hold on.
Wow, is that how you treat your customer here?
I said I'm on a call. I said hold on.
That's fine, that's fine. We cry for jobs, and when we get it, we play away with it. We cry for money, and when we get clients, we treat them like trash. Poor customer service.
When there's a child out there that's not getting the same that your own child is getting, the difference will tell, and there will come a time in the society where that child is going to take his pound of flesh.
Where you can actually, everything from watching a program with the child, you can start up the conversation from something on the TV and say, oh, you know.
For me, it's like, hurry up with this business. And the other one said, Auntie, it's not about me, it's about the guys. They're not ready to marry.
Yes. So if she wants to ask something, no, I know my mother very well. In fact, the most interesting one is when I put up pictures on WhatsApp, you know, Snapchat filters and all that, she will call me, remove that picture. There was a day I got tired of all that and I said,
So we're talking about customer service delivery, the quality of customer service delivery, and it resonates so much because I think we're used to it now. Sometimes when the sales girl, sales boy is speaking to you, and you just leave it and move on. But some of these things need to be addressed, and people need to know that it's wrong.
I don't even know where to start. Although I'm the kind of person that's quick to admit that I feel it's a two-sided thing.
Okay.
There's the customer that comes in and empties their frustration on somebody, and everybody that is watching or observing what is going on is aghast. Then, you know, there are some people that take this customer is always right thing to the next worst possible level.
Yes.
Then you have, I recall, I just had, when they said this is what we're talking about, I just had to share this. I recall years ago when I was still, you know, a staff here, there was this lady, you know, you need to look good, and NTA's dress code is traditional. So I happened to stumble upon this lovely fashion designer lady, we're peers and everything. Igbo lady, I will not call her name. Let me not spoil business for her, for other people. But she had very unique designs, and you'd give her simple designs, but you'd find that nobody else was wearing anything similar to what you were. So I became a regular customer. Now, maybe because she knew I was a public servant, so I don't have the kind of money that businesswomen or politicians will like that have. I noticed that whenever I'd walk into her establishment, I would be the one to greet her.
Right.
I'm a greeting person, so it doesn't really bother me, but when I notice that you're always waiting for me to greet you first, I begin to notice. But, well, whatever. Now, I'd be in the premises, and some other madam that really has money, these ones that come decked in gold with they will enter and this girl will fall all over herself. Auntie, welcome. Hey, how are you? And then collect the 30 wrappers that the woman has brought and is practically dancing around. So, is it because I'm coming with only 2 wrappers that I have to be the one to greet you first? Mm-hmm. So anyway, I bided my time with the lady because she was still having... I patronized that lady for about a year. And she had this nasty way of saying things like, see, she once in a while, when you're working with... She's not the one who makes the dresses. Okay, your tailor will mess you up and things like that. Instead of this lady to just apologize, you will find her saying things like, see, please, if you want, you can go. If you like, you can go. There will always be another customer.
Wow.
And she's still in business today. Because me, I left Sha. So for her to still be in business today,
that means there's some people that
other people still came now after I left. Mm-hmm. So that's the main thing. We are ordinarily happy with mediocrity. She wasn't giving me gang clothing, but after experiencing tailors that spoil everything you give them, when you meet that one person that only spoils 1 out of 5, you become a loyal customer. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So when Nigerians are so used to mediocrity, nonsense service that when you just do even small stuff, we are very, very, very happy.
Yeah, and we kind of just move on.
And we kind of just move on. So it has low-key become a culture to get rubbish service all the time.
Okay, let me tell you a story that comes to mind. When you go to the local airports, even the international ones, when you're traveling and you need to use the ladies' room, the ladies you meet in there, it's like either you have to make this decision of, do I really need to go and relieve myself, or do I just hold it till I get to my final destination? It's that bad, and I know the culture of having a wait man or wait woman to help with some of the toiletries, give you tissue or whatever, but sometimes they're holding the roll, the toilet roll to give you, and they're like, happy weekend, ma. How are you, ma?
Oh, they're expecting...
Yes, they're expecting... They're expecting to be tipped all the time. They're almost blocking you on your way out. I don't know if this happens to you, Kevin.
Yeah, it does. I mean, I think for the experience at the airport, it is the essence of actually issuing those tissues is to reduce his waste. Because, I mean, you go to toilets, you want to use more than necessary. But see, those guys actually turn it as a means to an end. So they bring those things, they genuflect towards you, greet you in a manner that, and begin to make your statement, happy weekend. Now, professional begging is something you find everywhere, in all establishments. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. In all establishments. The politicians, do their begging. They hail you, my chair or my leader, to be able to get something from you. The security guys will hail you. There's this guy around my neighborhood at the checkpoint. He will always tell you, give us number lack.
He's telling you.
Yeah, police officer, he said, give us number lack. Wow. So you always have to give something. Customer service in the country is something that has to do with, I would say, the failure of the elite class not being able to do the right thing. And it sort of boils down to the family. What culture are we teaching ourselves and our kids? So we'll take that out. When kids are beggarly at home, the tendency to leave that out is there. When they have bad upbringing, the tendency to play that out at the workplaces, the business center. When market people or business owners begin to assume that because they own the business, then they are lord over you, then something is absolutely wrong. from the upbringing, for me. So I always demand for service. Once services are paid for, they're demanded. I don't beg for it. But today we see if Abuja electricity distribution company brings lights, we rejoice that they're bringing lights. We're paying for it. I mean, we already have done prepaid with our meters, which means we're supposed to have lights to the period of our subscription, right? But they seize this time without even telling you. And they restore it anytime they feel like restoring it. Only sometimes they will make some announcement that we're going to experience, or there's a grid failure somewhere. If it is taking for like 24 hours, then they come up with a notice. That's bad customer service. You have your satellite dish providers. They just behave anyhow. When the network is bad, until you call them, they start explaining to you. Bad customer service. You go to the hospitals, front office treats you as if you're one plague. Right? With your money. The doctors attend to you with one kind of manner. The nurses want to give you an injection. They tell you, Oga, turn use speeding, they turn your ash properly, and start to touch you unnecessarily. That's bad customer service. You go to the schools. I mean, you try to want to enroll your kids, in the schools. From the front office, sometimes you're sitting there waiting for somebody to attend to you, and nobody's attending to you. Bad customer service. The teachers relate with our kids in a bad customer service manner. So you find this thing happening almost everywhere. You go to the churches. I mean, if you're a Christian like myself, and sometimes the ushers, treat you in some manner. Maybe that day they just because say, please go to that side, go and sit down that way. Or even you as a congregant, you go there relate to the ushers in some rude manner because of some privileges that you have. So like she said, it's a two-way thing, right? We have this attitude of disrespect that will carry on everywhere we go to, and sometimes we'll get it in some places beyond our own expectations. So I think we can adjust.
Another thing I must mention, and for people who are I grew up in very I don't know, a very urbane kind of setting, only to find myself in a situation where now, as a married woman, maybe I go out with my husband and everybody and the dog will greet him and ignore me. I don't even know what that means. Like maybe we've chosen to eat out. The waiters will come and literally ignore me. It's like I don't exist. It's like I paled into insignificance or something. Take his order, attend to him, pet him, do everything with him, and then ask me, almost as an afterthought. And I'm like, it's two of us that are eating, that's what's going on in my mind.
You're both the customers.
And I don't know what it's about. Or it's weird, even people, okay, like right now he's a high ranking government official. If we're together somewhere, they'll come and greet him and I'm nothing. I'm just a statue.
No, I think you are for the other room. I mean that's
not for the other.
The other room, so much more. The other room influences so bloody much.
Whatever happens, ladies first. Though.
Yeah, but ladies first is a culture that we're actually learning.
I don't even want the ladies first. Why pretend I don't exist?
No, it's not like they pretend. We have this culture, this orientation that was passed down to us. I think
from who?
From the British. Yeah, because when they came in here, they came in as oppressors, and so they made those who served them as core servants less important. So when our people took over from them, they decided to leave that air of importance, to us. Okay. If you pick someone, you're driving, you pick someone, and there's someone in the front, the passenger side, and say go to the back. He goes to the behind the driver's side because he doesn't want to sit on a gas seat. That's the mentality that will actually pass down to us by these, in quotes, the colonial masters. Now you find that men, we live in a chauvinistic society where
that is
men.
All.
That's what she was trying to say.
That's what she was trying to say. So we live in a chauvinistic society where men are oftentimes given that place. Even when the woman is paying the bills, it's the man that is oftentimes recognized. What I do is that I quickly point out to whoever that is waiting on us. Someone is there, he didn't say hello. You should have spoken to her first. Oh, sorry, ma. If we don't teach the people they will continue to go with that innate culture that they've learned from birth or from generation, before them. Because sometimes it comes in as a generational thing. When my son, when he was about 1, and said, "Hey, there was light, right?" I'm like, "Where did you learn that from?" At my age, I wasn't doing that at that adult age, but I did that when I was small. So it became like an innate behavior that whenever you see light, you just rejoice. But today they are all like teenagers, so they don't rejoice anymore when they bring light. I mean, it's normal. We don't even feel that there's light or no light, kind of behavior. So it's something that we can unlearn and relearn something good. How are we teaching our kids to become more benevolent? How humane are we? How do we relate with our kids? See, because that's the culture we must pass down to them so that they can go out to the society. If I don't treat my child well, if I don't relate to my son very well, my daughter very well, and make them feel that humanness in them and be benevolent, if they get to become an employee as someone who interacts or interfaces with the public, there's a tendency for them to show that element of my attitude in the public.
I have a quarrel.
Kids are basically loudspeakers.
I have a quarrel with the
and
word
amplifiers.
benevolence. I would call it bare courtesy.
Okay.
Why are parents, or I don't know who to put this on now, not teaching their kids that it is courteous to greet somebody who is older than you? It's bare courtesy. It's not benevolence.
Yeah, but there's
it's
another
not
angle.
about being humane.
There's an angle which I
know.
always also know that when you greet someone, or sometimes also I've seen it happen, when a child greets someone, the child is taken advantage of. Because the greetings opens access.
What do you mean by taking advantage?
Yeah, here's the thing. A child sees someone that is older and says, "Good morning, sir." That's a window of invitation. "Oh, how are you? Come." Right? If that child is not taught on how to interact and interface with people in the public, the child goes with the toga of respect. He says, "Come," and he goes. And that adult, with his ulterior motive, begins to want to play on that child's intelligence.
I've seen
it happen, and it's
I'm not saying that it doesn't happen.
You're teaching a child to be courteous. You're also teaching
teaching a child to be courteous is good. But you see, when she said she disagreed with that aspect of benevolence, the whole essence of our human being is actually, hinged on benevolence.
I disagree with the meaning of the word in the context of what we are saying. It's not benevolence. It is courteousness. Yeah. It is polite. Benevolence suggests that you are doing me a favor.
No. That's the
meaning of the word in the context that I'm saying.
Benevolence is not necessarily doing you a favor. It's basically you serving the other individual as much as you want to be served yourself. It's showing courtesy. It's showing that respect. It's showing humanness.
Okay.
And that's what benevolence stands for.
Okay.
It's not in the
what you're
context
describing sounds like courtesy to me.
Yeah,
it's more like courtesy.
It's one of the words. You see, every word you have multiple words that comes with it.
Well,
so that's I say it also means courtesy. That's why you serve other person as much as you want to serve. That's courtesy.
Okay.
You show that. There was a time my kids know that when we're walking around and they get to meet people older than them, they have to greet. But a lot of the time they greet and they don't respond. Those individuals don't respond. Okay. And I said to them, it's not them. It's you. You be you. Let that other individual suffer from not being that individual that they should be. When you bring it down to customer service, truth is, it has a family orientation to it.
I agree.
Truth is, the society oftentimes has not also taught itself properly. The way you recruit someone determines how they behave. When they need to give out their service.
Even if you recruit them, you can train them. That's the whole point.
You can train them. How much training are we giving? Let me give this
customer service officers.
Let me give this instance, right? You want the Nigerian police, before now that I know, during the course of recruitment, you pay through everything. You go to the academy, you buy everything. From the mattress you will sleep on to the plate you're going to use to the food, everything, you buy everything. Okay. So by the time they finish through that training, they come out with a mentality of transactional relationship in the service to nationhood. You go to other sector, you find the same thing. So what is the recruitment process? When you employ this staff, how much training did you give to this staff as relates to customer service? Not necessarily saying the customer is the king. Yes, of course, there's that aspect of it. I do customer service training, right? And I often will say the customer, yes, is your employer, right? but there's a limit to which the employer will relate to with the employee. If the employer shows disrespect, then you have to draw that line.
Yeah.
Because you can't say because you're the employee you take all sort of abuse from your employer. There's a channel of communication that must be established. So what window do we have in that establishment? When a customer behaves in some kind of manner, how do we handle that customer? Is there a supervisor that come in to address that issue?
Okay.
Is there security put in place to make sure that you follow it up? If a customer comes and slaps your staff, you don't say it's okay. What you're doing is that you're actually teaching that staff to become retaliatory to another customer that have not really done that bad. So if a customer comes and slap your staff, then you need to arrest that customer and prosecute that customer. 6 months imprisonment. That's all you pay on a fine.
Yeah, but
Yeah, even talking about line of command, chain of command, I'm talking about just a regular, like the Americans would say, mom and pop shop or store where it's just 3 or 4 employees.
Like the
And there's
Meshai.
no- exactly. There's no
a small daily needs store.
exactly.
So what do you do?
There's no. Let me speak to your supervisor. The
Okay, no,
supervisor is madam.
If there's no supervisor, if the madam is there, you approach the madam, or the person is not available.
Sometimes it's madam.
If the person is not available, I think you can actually find time, or you make demand of the services which you're paying for. When we, the customers, fail to make demand of our services that we're paying for, we give more room for such abuses to take place.
Okay.
When we, as visitors or guests to such establishment, keep giving out arms to those who ask for those things, we keep encouraging the business to thrive. Mm-hmm. When we go to the airports and we keep seeing these people because of how they tend to greet us or ask for things, happy weekend, all of those things, or give us normal life, and we give, we encourage the business to thrive. So what we need to do, we need to restrain, like this. They will say in bribery and corruption, they say if you give bribe, you take bribe. It's the same punishment you receive, right? Mm-hmm. We should also teach ourselves. Places of public places of service, not a place where we need to go show how generous we are.
Okay. So
That
what about the tipping culture that they have abroad? If we build tipping into our services, not in the Nigerian, like proper building it into your bill wherever you go, there's a tipping jar where you can tip. Maybe
I actually hate that culture, especially from the
Why?
American perspective,
Why?
because it gives the service provider an entitlement
mentality. Yeah,
But it works.
Are you
So-
telling me that you sold me this glass of orange juice at let's
$2.
say 500 naira?
Yes.
Right? Are you telling me that it wasn't worth the 500 naira and I must now drop 50
tip.
naira before? No, I should give you a tip because I like how you approached me. I enjoyed your service. It's not, I'm the kind of person who doesn't like being forced to do anything.
Yeah.
So if I'm doing it from a place where I'm glad to do it, I might even give you more than the value of what I bought. Mm-hmm. But in this establishment, we expect you to drop a 10% tip, blah, blah, blah. I mean, I even step foot in there.
I quite agree with you because, I frowned at it. I mean, my first time in the US and I saw that I had to tip. It was actually indicated that you tip. And
I don't like it.
I said, why would I tip? I've already paid for the service.
I've paid for the service.
Now, the
But
culture.
that's how they're paid minimum wage. That's how they
I
get.
don't.
Yeah, that's how they get. But you see, here's the thing. I think
I've been through minimum wage myself.
I think it's a culture that was established to reduce this begging. So let's make it official, right?
Okay.
I think so because even today in Nigeria, some hotels is indicative that the money that goes, I know that they do that. I remember when I provided service for one of these subsistence industry, there's that provision for all the tips that comes, and at the end of the month, it's shared among staff. Right? They do that. In other establishments, they collect the money, they don't give to the staff.
Yes.
Or they divide it and take part of it and give staff half of it. If you go to big establishments, they collect the tips and give.
It's a self-esteem boost for some of these employees.
It's a two-way thing. But you see, once it becomes an entitlement, it becomes a challenge. You don't force people to give you arms. You don't force people to do that. Even beggars, right? Even beggars, these days they feel so entitled. I mean, I've seen one that I was with a friend and the guy came around, limping and came for him. I said, come, when are you going to stop this? Because I know him. I mean, when are you going to stop this? Don't you think you can find something better than this? He said, okay, I wasn't talking to you. Do you know where I am? He started boasting. Because he said, yeah. I said, my friend who wanted to give him withdrew. Like, wait a minute, what an attitude. Bad customer service, right? Yeah. And he didn't give him arms anymore. So you see that entitlement mentality is springing up because we encouraged it. And a lot of us do that because we believe that that's one window through which we can buy more benefits to heaven, in quotes. So we are generous because...
You're right about that.
Yeah, we're becoming generous because to give us more access to getting heaven. But that won't give you. Because harm's giving. I mean, it's not something that must be compelled. You have to be intuitively led to give alms.
Okay.
So it becomes more definite and impactful. Because the more we do this, we've seen beggars who come to tell us how much money they have and how much wealth they've been able to gain from this business. Some looking so pitiable, and we've also seen how some of them have been busted. Those who claim they don't have arms or who have deep injuries or who have cancer injuries have been busted, even in the US.
Yeah.
I mean, there was a lady in the US who oftentimes will go with her van and she changed to an old lady, wear all her costumes and all that, start begging until she was busted. You know, we have that in Nigeria too, with a lot of cotton wool and blood stains and all of those things. It was busted and it was not this thing. So I'm giving must be intuitive. If we stop it at the point, I mean, I worked in the government before, and there was a book I was writing called The Professional Beggars, because I saw that amongst my colleagues and other people, I mean, they expect people will come to visit the office to give alms. So they greet you in some kind of tone. The type of money you give determines the tone that you get. You know, if you are from the northern party, they need to greet you because of the amount of money you bring. They could say "Rankashidede," right? If you're not giving enough money, they just say "Rankadede." They stop there. But if you're giving enough money, you're from north, it's "Rankashidede." It's increased. If you're from the southern part, you know, like my chief, honorable chair. The amount of money you give as hams determines how you're greeted.
Yeah, let's talk about the service delivery itself, especially in the case of some of these bold drivers. Well, let me not use these ride share.
No, but you see, no, I disagree with you. If we don't call out these people.
No, it's not specific to
not
that
specific.
No, but
to any
based on experiences.
Not specific to any company.
So okay.
It's not specific to
you
any
enter
company.
the ride share or the ride
I've had
sharing
both
app.
anyway, both of them.
And then they're like, oh, madam, sorry, or the AC. But you're paying for an air conditioned car to take you from A to B, and all of a sudden they're telling you, well, the AC is not working, or they even give you, well,
Attitude.
there's no fuel.
No fuel.
No fuel.
Yes, I hear that often.
Wow.
There's no
What's
fuel.
the point? I mean, no, seriously, what's the point?
So that happens often. How do you address that?
What about the case where you get into the vehicle and like, are you paying card or cash?
That is.
And you already have card in the app, right?
Yes.
And they said, no, I can't go. I need cash because I don't have money. I've been carrying card all along. Or that the AC is not working well. Sorry. Or that there's no fuel. Or that place there's too much traffic. I can't go and all of those things. No, what I simply do, I just go do my reviews.
Okay.
Yes. I don't give you even any star. I go write my reviews. And in some cases, and I tell you, look, because of this poor service, I'll tell you straight up, I'll give my reviews. I learned long ago to demand for services I'm paying for. No sentiment attached. I've had experiences on both sides of the sharing or alien services you talk about, be it Bolt or Uber and all of those things, and I don't take it from them. Yeah. You don't pick me up. You knowing the rules, and you tell me I must change the game in the middle of nowhere. I must pay you cash when I know I already have my card. I don't do this. So if you don't want to take me on, then you cancel the trip. Then let's see.
My challenge about writing reviews is it really anonymous?
No.
You say that it's anonymous. And are you aware that these drivers also rate you as a customer?
Yeah, they do.
They do.
I do. So I've written a review. A driver picked a friend of mine. I actually booked the ride, and it was a car trip, and ended up collecting money from that friend. So when I saw it, I said no. Immediately I sent the message. That driver was stopped. Wow. He has to start begging and refund the money before he was giving back his assets.
Sorry, if I might ask, what's the big deal about whether it's a card or it's cash payment? At the end of the day, the service is being paid for.
Okay,
what is the
my
problem?
My brother works in one of these companies. They don't pay the card trips immediately. It takes about a week or...
A week, yeah, about
a week. It takes a week rather than having the cash at hand immediately when someone pays.
Yeah, but see, it's a business. It's a business that got involved in. They must be prepared for it.
Anyone, you prefer cash first. I mean,
listen. First of all, I'm not going to mention which it is. I had inputted my card details into one of these ride share whatever things one time, and I sat down one day, and saw money I was just receiving alerts, and my ATM card was right with me in my purse. They debited 87,000 naira, and this was at Christmas time.
Okay,
I was not even in Abuja, I was in Makodi. We had gone home for Christmas. Me and my husband, we'd gone to visit somebody. We were sitting with this person, and I kept receiving. These people took 20,000 naira from my account.
The receipt from the receipt that came in, was it from the alien company? Or
It was from one of these cab ride,
So
blah blah blah.
what could have
Not
happened?
only did I delete the app from my phone, I have never.
And you don't.
The ones that are now, I don't do ride share. I would rather stand on the road and hail a regular taxi.
You don't do any?
I don't do any.
Wait a minute.
If my vehicle is not working, I can ask any of the kids to order me
Even.
one. I don't have Bolt, Uber, blah blah blah
and
on
you
my
didn't
phone.
follow it up with
When I call GTB, what are they going to say?
No, the right share.
no.
How?
See, the receipt that came in with those withdrawals
All of it
indicates-
was, for some strange reason, it was showing Lagos, which I haven't been to in years.
No, Lagos is actually the office where the receipts come from the alien company. Once it is indicated, you report it, they do refund.
Well, this was years ago. I
They
wish
do
I
refund.
had this
Sometimes
information.
They do
I
refund.
didn't.
If next time, always get in touch with the company.
Yeah, but the whole point
responsible.
is I used their service once. This was months later that these deductions were made. Why? It was clear fraud.
And there was a time that they actually had an issue. It was a glitch, a system glitch issue that was actually doing the withdrawal. They actually refunded everybody.
I didn't get a refund. I can bet you I didn't.
Because they actually made it. I know they did, one of those companies, they did that. How about you get to the supermarket, and after getting your stuff, you get to the tip point and you are over invoiced, and
Yes,
you're
that
made to
happens.
pay.
That happens once in a
You
while.
you pay, or you get to the filling station. You say, "Give me full tank," right? And you're in the car waiting that somebody will finish.
No.
You
That's
zoom.
the first mistake. I'm not in the car when I ask for a full.
No, so
I'm right there.
good. I know because these things happen. You know, there was a time I went to one of these stations, and after buying, I left. The next day, I had empty tank. Are you kidding me? So I went back. I'm like, wait a minute. What was the guy that was here? I bought this thing. They said the guy's not on duty. I said I bought fuel here, and I just noticed that he didn't give me as much as I paid for. He said, "Organa, one of those things now."
Wow.
I said, "You for real?" Organa, then a survivor. I said, "Really?" I said, "I need your manager." He said, "Organa, please now." I said, "No, I need your manager. You can't tell me that." So we see these things happening, and we tend to like, let me leave it for God. You know, we are very religious people. Let me live for God has always made it possible for people to misbehave, you know, in such a manner. Take it on. Take it on these people.
Yeah, but I want you, I feel you contradicted yourself somewhere, and I need you to clarify that, because
Okay.
even I got confused. You said something about the kind of home people come from can go a long way in determining the kind of employee they become. And in the same breath, you don't seem to feel that kids should greet people.
No, I never said so.
Hang on. That's why I'm saying you
Okay.
confused me. Because those people will take advantage of them. So what is the point? I should train my child not to greet people because those people will take advantage of them, or what? You need to clarify
Okay,
that.
I'm sorry you misunderstood what I said. That's misconstruement completely. What I said was that when you insist that your child should greet whoever that is older, without teaching that child how to be able to relate with the persons they are greeting, in some cases they'll be taken advantage of.
Yeah, it's
which
better.
I've
It's
seen
better put that way.
happened.
Yeah, of course.
Which I've seen, and I said to you, I said, my kids greet. They know that, they also know the limit. When you greet someone, doesn't mean you have to stand to continue conversation.
Exactly.
It's a skill set that I've actually taught them. So they don't greet and stand to begin to smile
Okay.
at you.
Okay.
They greet
I
you
think
for the
that's
purpose of
better. That's
so
clearer now.
What about customer retention? You know, at the end of the year, you know, it's been a good year. My store has done well. My regular customers, when they come in, maybe give them slippers or a sponge or something. Do you think it's something that is a good idea? I mean,
Yeah.
I would keep coming back.
I think it is.
People expect it though. Some customers say, no Christmas.
Oh, I don't ask. I just use that to gauge your own style. You know, I don't ask. There's nothing your key holder is going to do to add anything to my life. But the thing is this. No, seriously, it's usually a forgettable gift. For me, there's this hairdresser I've been using now for about 8-9 years. Now, the main reason I keep patronizing that place is the shop is usually empty.
Okay.
You know, you don't go and meet 6, 7, 8, 9 people and then
People.
spend your entire day there. And there's a reason the shop is generally empty. One, it's in a hotel. Two, the girl isn't that good. You know, and after all these years, she still hasn't improved.
I was thinking she was going to say something.
No, seriously, I'm going somewhere.
Let's let her land.
After all these years, she still hasn't improved.
Oh.
You know, I've been with them for almost 10 years. I'm still like, no, don't do that. Do this. I'm even a better, you know, from experience with better. So, but why do I keep going there? Her customer care is excellent. You understand? The minute she has goofed, it's almost as if she's going to start crying because I think she knows her limitations. And then now that I know that she herself doesn't really know what she's doing, I call her a day ahead, you know. And let me call her Rose. Rose, I'm coming tomorrow. Make you find the person who will come pack this hair for me properly. You know, send her dreadlocks I carry for head.
Okay.
So she will now call the person who is good at doing those things from the proper salon to come there. Then she will just stand and look as the person does the thing, and then I drop tips for them and leave.
So
but the thing is, if she doesn't see me for a month, she goes into a meltdown. And what happen? I offend you. I never see you for 3 weeks. You know, this kind of. So I just keep. She's very good like that. In fact, I've commended her to her madam that this lady is really holding your shop for you, because the madam is upset that the girl doesn't know how to, you know, do these things. But what she lacks in practical skills, she has in human relations. You know, she'll call me and say, I see your WhatsApp updates the other day. Be like, now your birthday, happy birthday, you know, all these kinds of things. So I keep going back because of that.
Really.
Nuisance value, you know, to every individual there's a nuisance value we must tolerate.
And
right?
if we refer to the playlet, you know, there are a lot of our young ones out there praying for jobs. I need a job, God please, I just need this job. And you get that break, and then you sit there and spend it on the phone, on so apps. You're doing every other thing except focus on the job.
You know, we oftentimes apply. I beg to apply. I humbly apply for this job and all of those things.
Humbly apply. Yes.
And once the job is gotten, you now begin to feel like, man, you are a king or a queen. You know, you've arrived, and it's an attitudinal challenge to that individual. Also, a challenge of the employer for not doing a thorough job before employing and after employing. Thorough job in what sense? You have to look at the skill set of that individual, capacity beyond just qualifications, to know how this person can fit into what you want that person to be employed in. Not based on your ethnic or religious or any other sentiment, but does this person have the capacity to real? See, I said somewhere before now, I mean, when I was doing consulting for human resources, and I can say, look, before you employ anybody, you want to do personality clarity test. Let's be sure that this individual can relate it under that level of complementarity with the boss and with the customer. There are people who are gifted with that human personality skills. There are people who are gifted to work behind the scene. That's they cannot. You don't put them in the front because they have temperamental issues, but they have managerial skills to manage things behind the scene. So you want to be able to put the right staff in the right place, so that you can get the best of it. Now, some of these persons, they just employ. The qualification is not good enough, or that's good enough, but they want to fill up the space. The person will not take enough salary as expected. So maybe you're supposed to pay 150. This person will need to take 50,000 naira. Come and stay. The person gets there and sees this job as, I'm just doing the job. Because in Nigeria, 80% of the job we do are actually platforms for us to launch on our next level.
Yes.
So we're just managing jobs. I mean, 80%.
That's happening so
yeah, that's
now.
so you find yourself. So when you get there, you're like, anybody that comes and gives you attitude, I'll give it to you after I don't like this job. So let's employ the right people and train them for the job as fitting, so that we can get the best of it. Then too, as customers, let us also have that culture to respect humans, not the person, but the human being, not the office they occupy. We treat our drivers wrong, cooks, chefs, and every other person. We treat housemaids like shit. True. Excuse my French, but
something came to mind when you said it, that sometimes under what area of customer service would you classify entering a shop, walking around the bend, still trying to figure out what you want, and then someone is giving you like close marking, like they're almost already treating you like a criminal because they assume you're going to pick something.
Well,
I find that
not
so,
it's probability.
It's demeaning.
No, it's probability, because in some cases, what they should have done to ask you, yes, is to ask you how they can help you with what you're looking for. Now, the probability on the other side is that because of shoplifters,
Exactly.
as an anti-theft specialist,
A lot of
right?
that goes on.
As an anti-theft specialist, what you see, not your dressing. I've seen a lady well dressed with gold, like you said, with all of those decked up with the gold. Let me use a word, if you don't mind. And she shoplifted, unbelievably. And I was like, "Are you kidding me?" If you see this person, like, she was so beautiful, but shoplifting. So
What
if
did
you,
she shoplift, if I might ask?
of course, jewelry.
Wow.
Was it a jewelry
And
store?
I don't-
It was a jewelry store.
I don't like being asked,
No.
what can I help you? I'm there.
No,
to,
please, you
I'm
should.
not that kind of
No,
shopper.
you should-
I
you
want
should-
to
No,
look
I
at
get
it.
used to it.
understand
able
where
to
they're
look
coming
around.
from.
It should get
There's
used to
this
it.
shop I go to, and the minute you enter, somebody will pick a basket and start
follow
following
you.
you. Now, I know the logic behind it, so I don't insist, no, don't worry, I'm just carrying 3 things. I allow you to follow me because
Okay.
I know that people who came in a bigger car than me, people that came wearing 150,000 naira lace, have stolen from your shop before.
Well,
Not
sure.
me wear jeans and t-shirt, and I know get it.
No, beyond that need for stealing, we also need to understand that when they give you that first class treatment, the average customer in Nigeria wants to have that hair of superiority.
True.
So when they get that first class treatment, it makes you to want to come shop some more. Also, under the guise of shoplifting strategy, when I follow you, it's difficult for you to now start thinking of what to do. Once you know that you're monitored or somebody is moving, how do you now steal? In some cases, I've seen people try to recruit those also. Be friendly, give them extra cash. But you see, what I always advise business to do is that every money that is gotten from that environment must be declared. You go with nothing, you're going out with nothing.
Okay.
That's the stuff.
The staff,
The
yeah,
staff.
staff.
Good morning. Customer services in banks is very poor. Those workers are saucy and they need training. You know what that
Yeah, that happens.
what that happens pretty often.
Yeah.
I love your discussion in caps.
Thank you.
Interesting. My name is Blessing. I remember when. Oh, okay. This is not for us. Okay. So the banking industry, we know that, and I know for a fact that the bank keeps training and retraining the customers. So are they overwhelmed? Is it because they have too many people? People are sitting under the canopies waiting to come in. So is it that the staff are just they're overwhelmed? They have too many people, too many issues to face. People aren't getting the forms right. I told you to sign here. The person signs elsewhere.
I
And you've done
understand.
that 16 times already today.
The banking thing, again, coming back to what Fine Face said, and which I will reiterate. Nigerians, we ordinarily as a people have a very stuffy attitude. We come in with an air of superiority at all times. This thing has caused us much lack of... non-Nigerians don't like Nigerians. We are the Americans of Africa.
That's true.
Americans tend to be very uppity for absolutely nothing.
Excluding Ghana, so I know exactly what you're
Nigerians
talking
have
about.
that attitude. Nigerians have that
Yes,
attitude.
I
We
know.
come wherever we are going with an attitude. Now you are dealing with another Nigerian. You understand? I was going to come in when you were talking about all these things. I said another factor we should look at is, there's this saying, you pay peanuts and you get monkeys. You have somebody that is standing in the sun and in the rain, has no days off because you said that the person is the security man of your estate, blah, blah, blah. And you're paying this person 12,000. A full-grown man, a human being. You're paying him 12,000 naira to work morning till night, every day. No off day. Cannot doze off. He's the one opening the gate in the afternoon. He's the same. Now, let's bring it back to the banking sector. This person is a maybe customer service person that attends to all those small things. There is a queue. Everybody, the blind can see this queue. And then one person will enter the place, and because this is who she is, will just skip everybody and walk right to the desk. And see, I wanted to tell you, so there's somebody already sitting in front of this being attended to. There are 9 other people behind this person sitting. You just walked in, ignored everybody, did not even take an excuse from this person being attended to. You could say, please, I just want to ask a question if you don't mind. No, we will ignore everybody and come, yesterday you people debited blah 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 blah. So these other people that are here, is it that they don't have anything to do with their time? So sometimes I don't blame the cashier for giving it, the Abi customer care person for giving it hot as they get it hot. Madam, sorry, you are just coming. Kindly join the queue. And there are some people that will be affronted that you even drew their attention to the fact that they are just coming now and they skipped the queue.
Yeah.
So we already have a stuffy attitude as Nigerians. And it's the same Nigerians that you're talking to on that phone that are sitting inside the banking hall and attending to you. They already have their own stuffy attitude and you're coming with yours. So it's a thing of mutual respect. Yeah. There are people who feel that their children's teachers are less than. The driver, like you mentioned, is less than.
Yes.
The lady that comes to help you around the house is less than. If that man doesn't show up for work 3 days, you will die of fatigue. And yet, you treat her like a subhuman because she has the misfortune of being in a position where she has to collect your nasty 20,000 naira salary in a month that cannot take her from point A to B in life.
Transportation.
So we need to work on ourselves.
Yeah, there's one comment here that says government hospital workers also lack good services.
Oh, that's
government offices as well. You know, you get to government office is supposed to open at 8 a.m. You get there at 10. The front desk officer is not there, or whoever, the secretary to the Oga is still not there, and and when she does arrive, she starts to pray.
You are lucky she's ever actually playing. In some cases, they will even ask you to sweep.
Sweep,
yeah. They ask you to clean. If you're ready to be attended to, they ask you. I mean, I'm not saying it. Yes. Go just find out from any other person, and they'll tell you. Okay, you know, so I'm just coming. If you want, so okay, help us and also carry those things and try.
I've never heard this. I think you're exaggerating.
I'm not exaggerating. I'm telling you, this thing has happened in Nigerian government office. It's not something I'm saying that I'm blowing it up.
I should help who to do what?
Good question.
And then you'll be the first person to.
You're the first person that came in. So your government offices, public, in fact, almost all government offices until recently. That was why they introduced Servicom, right?
Wow.
Now, Servicom is not also effective as much as we expect because one, users are not, sending in their report as expected because you're expected to give in your feedback to that department. You know, there was a period that in every government establishment there was a Servicom desk.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Outside of
course.
Are they functional? No. Why are they not functional? Because we all get to the point where like there's nothing I do now can actually make any difference. So let me manage. You see, that aspect of big medicine that she was trying to mention, the patronage thing oftentimes bedevils us. We get into an environment, we want to bribe our way through, we want to pay our way through. So we get there, we find people become so charitable to them. So if the customer office person, service person decides to say, Madam, you just came in, she goes to the manager. Manager sees the account of that individual and says, are you out of your mind? Why were you rude? Even in the presence of that person, rudely speak to that individual, that customer service person. Also, one other thing we'll find is that we have people who have misplaced in offices. You employ somebody who does not have any skill set in the area you employ the person because you want to fill up the space to pay less amount of money. You put that person there. You expect nothing but that which you're going to get. In banking sector, you have that common because you have people who study history, who don't have any business doing in any banking job, being employed as account officers. You have people who have different.
No, I think that's because they get trained.
What training? 2 weeks, 3 weeks training without without culture. And they expect you to learn on the job.
It's not. It shouldn't just be.
They expect to learn on the job.
I think it is.
They expect to learn on the job. They also contract this thing to people who also today now most of the banking jobs are contracted, and those contractors get to employ people to fill up the space so they can make money, more profit, thereby reducing whatever overhead that is coming to the bank on the other hand. We need to have a culture of customer service as a priority in all aspects of our human endeavors and relationships.
Skep from Taraba State, I enjoy your program. Customer delight guarantees the continuity of any business. The customer care service attendant should give a good impression of services, which will bring you back for more patronage.
I agree.
Yeah. Thank
I
you
agree with
for
that. Politicians need to also learn something. They have
In
bad
customer service?
Yes, because they have bad customer
Who are their
service.
customers?
They come with promises, right?
Yeah.
Give you all of those things, and they don't deliver as expected. And they come next time, they come with money to give to you. They try to induce you. That's bad customer service. If politicians are learning good customer service, I think we're going to get that rub off in all our in the society. So once they behave well, you see, there's this hair of bigmanism that comes with the average Nigerian, the average African. The little privilege life has given to you, you go there and you begin to, do you know where I am? You know that? Do you know where I
We
am?
didn't say that throughout the show.
Do you know who I am has helped me out of difficult situations.
No way.
Seriously. There was a time when police were trying to mess me up. It's a long story. Bottom line, Sha, I didn't even know this was SARS, back when SARS existed. And they were doing a sweep, picking women on the streets. And I was waiting for a taxi.
What?
I was waiting for a taxi. This was Wuse 2. This was around 7:30 p.m.
Wow,
So it wasn't
I
like
see.
1 a.m. or something that you wonder what a lone woman is. And they came and came out with baton and everything. I said, what's the problem? I'm a staff of NTA. I said, let me show you my ID card. Now we be civil servants. Now they sell on our body pass.
Wow.
At that point, I was like, excuse me? If you lay a hand on me, I will make sure you lose your job. And I was, the truth is, I wasn't playing at that point. At that point, I wasn't playing. I said, do you know who I am? Well, I didn't even know who I was at that point because I was so frightened. But I mean, like, I had to pull everything out of me because I knew that if these people lifted me from that place,
The story will be different.
the story would be different.
Yes, of course.
And I wasn't about to let that happen. So
last-
I really, and that time I was covering National Assembly, excuse me.
Right. Good
I had every
morning.
intention of bringing in the Senate President if need be. Yeah.
All right, we're out of time.
At
We're
least you
talking
play with
about
your
No, I mean,
assets.
quality
sometimes.
of customer service delivery here in the conversations room. It's been awesome. There's been calls for part 2. We'll see you again
Part
some
2.
other time. Thank you so much for joining us, and goodbye.